Since its beginnings in 1946, Capital Community College has been a lifeline for thousands of Greater Hartford residents, honing their skills in preparation for transfer education and new careers. Students come to Capital in search of a brighter future and graduate with a profound belief about what they can accomplish in the world. So many lives have been transformed by Capital Community College. Here are just a few stories. Robert Hickey, president and CEO of the engineering firm Van Zelm, Haywood & Shadford, appreciates the value of a community college education. He graduated from Capital's founding school, Hartford State Technical Institute, in 1962.
Having gone through, paid my own way, earning, working hard, a lot of studying, I know those students, because I did it, sacrifice a lot. They really struggle. Capital and other community colleges really are generally students who have had not as a good start, or may not have the financial means, or may not have had the academic preparation. But once you have the knowledge in your head and you have that education, no one can take that away from you. That's probably your greatest strength and resource over time. Actually, what got me to go to Hartford State Technical Institute, I went to, as I said, E.C. Gwynn Technical School in New Britain, and a combination secondary school diploma and trade certificate. And my math teacher, Ken Fogg, who incidentally later became president of Waterbury State Technical College some years later, said, "You know, Bob, I know you're very college-minded. My family didn't have the money to really send me to college." He said, "You know, Hartford State Technical Institute would be a very good school to go to. You could develop a good career out of it, get a good 2-year college education." I went through my 2 years at State Tech. It was a really enjoyable experience. I really felt I had a lot of good technical education and a lot of support from my teachers and professors and so forth. And I think this has been a really great opportunity. That advice in going to HSTI, predecessor to Capital Community College, really creates access for people who, like me, didn't have the financial wherewithal, if you will, and in even some cases enough academic preparation. Bridge the gap to get a good working career as a graduate of that school, and even be a stepping stone to further education if that came to pass, you know, or that was your desire to move on. I think it was one of the best moves I ever made, and that led to my career and where I am today. So I'm hooked, I'm involved, and it's because of all it's done for my career over the years.
Like Robert Hickey, many graduates want to give back to the college that served them so well. Lilias Martinez struggled to finish high school before discovering what she was capable of achieving at Capital Community College. Now an associate professor of psychology, Lilias uses her own experiences to relate to her students.
When I was in high school, I was the student who was classified at risk. I was a student who was never introduced to any college materials because they thought I was going to fail. My counselor sat down with me, and she made an appointment with me. She called me into her office and said, "I want to let you know that you're 16 now and you can drop out of school." I was not a straight A student. So I thought, why would she say that? Am I that stupid that I need to drop out of school? And my friends told me, "You know, Lilium, you really have to try. You have to at least get your high school diploma." After I graduated from high school and had worked full-time for about a year, I really wanted to do this. I thought if I graduated high school, maybe there's an opportunity for me to go to college. And someone introduced me to Capital. They said, "Have you taken a look at Capital? It's right down the street. Why don't you go visit them?" My first impression, it scared me to death. I remember walking through the doors and thinking, wow, it scared me to death. But once I started my classes and the students themselves, I felt like it was my home. They made me feel like I was special, like, you know, this is someone who's gonna really do something with their life and go forward and make a difference. And that's all I needed, someone to really tell me, "Hey, you know, you're pretty great. You can do this." Because I was always told I couldn't. And for once, people were saying I actually could. I love every aspect of teaching. I love walking into the classroom. I love talking to my students one-on-one. I love talking to them in a group. I love getting feedback from them. I look beyond what's in front of me. I talk to them, I get to know them, I ask them why they're here, I ask them what they want. And also I tell them a little bit about my background. So I make that connection with them. They're more open to disclose information about themselves if you're open with the students. And I think that opens up a line of communication that students are willing to look at you and look at the college and look at what they have in front of them much differently. This college is it's the beginning of their lives, and they're not even aware of it yet. I wanted to stay at Capital because this is where I started. This is where I grew, and this is the reason I'm here is because of Capital. And for me, I love Capital.
Jeffrey Holmes grew up in Hartford, the youngest of 3 sons of a single mother. After working full-time to help support his family, he attended Capital Community College and earned an associate's degree in computer science. Now working towards his bachelor's degree, Jeffrey enjoys a rewarding career with St. Paul Travelers in downtown Hartford.
Attending Capital was very special to me. It came at a point in my life when I needed a change. Being the youngest of 3 boys raised by a single mom, it was pretty tough. You had to work to help make the ends meet, and while in high school I worked to help my mom out, and graduating from high school I went to work full-time. When I decided it was time for me to go back to school, I looked around and checked out a couple of colleges. I was afraid to attend school, number 1. Number 2, I would be the first of my siblings to attend college. So there was a lot of weight being placed on my shoulders to make it through. In addition to that, I felt like I could not accomplish making it through college. The classes were tough, and there were times when I really didn't feel like I was going to make it through. I just remember having conversations with my mom, and she would always encourage me to do my best and always encourage me to strive. And I think about my education not just being for me, but it was also an education for my mom. What I found in Capital was it was close, it was affordable. The classes, they were a nice size, wasn't too large, and the people seemed to be very personable. I found myself throughout my classes making many, many new friends, be it other students or the instructors, even some of the other staff members at the college, the business office, the registrar's office, all the way up to the president's office. I can say I have friends all over Capital Community College. I was inducted into Phi Theta Kappa, the International Honor Society, for 2-year colleges. As a member of Phi Theta Kappa, I learned additional skills in communication, leadership, fellowship, scholarship, as well as service to the community. During my last semester at Capital, I sat with one of the counselors, Margaret Abraham, and as she went over my course load and helped me to prepare for graduation, she also encouraged me to look into furthering my studies. I then looked into the University of Hartford, where I currently attend, working on my bachelor's in computer science. My goal after completing my bachelor's is to go on to receive my MBA, then to open up my own consulting firm, and once I've gotten that off the ground, I'd actually want to go back and work on my doctorate in psychology so that I can accomplish my ultimate goal, which is to become a counselor and work with inner city youth. The way I see it, if I can reach back and help guide some other young people in the same manner that I was guided, then it would have made my life well worth living. My mom was very proud to know that all the hard work that she had invested in me and all the encouragement that she had given to me helped me to reach that first goal. And even now, there are days I still call my mom when the classes get a little tough, just to hear her give me some encouraging words, because I now feel like I can accomplish just about anything so long as I continue to put my mind to it and remain hard at work.
Capital Community College remains dedicated to educating every person who walks through the door seeking a better life. In Capital's environment of academic excellence, high expectations, and unlimited opportunities, students flourish. Many shoulder significant responsibilities and confront daunting challenges, making each success all the more extraordinary. Their triumphs impact not only the individual students and their families, but all of our families. We are a richer community in every respect when students succeed. Please help us continue this proud and critical tradition of changing lives.